Hey folks, I'm your host Troubletcat. You're watching Meet the Weapon, and today we're talking about the PKP Pecheneg. So the PKP Pecheneg is a Russian-made machine gun mostly used by Spetsnaz, which are, as you should probably already know, Russian Special Forces. It's been in service since 1999 and replaced particularly the PKM machine gun, but just generally replaced earlier, less advanced machine guns and is an advancement on the PKM. One of the most notable differences between this weapon and a lot of other light machine guns is the lack of a barrel that can be quickly changed. So, I don't know if I've talked about this in any of the other LMG videos, I don't remember. Many LMGs come with a barrel that can easily be changed in the field, in case the barrel overheats. The Pecheneg doesn't, though. But it's got a barrel designed to sort of force air along the barrel so that the barrel stays nice and cool. According to its manufacturer, this means that the weapon can be fired continuously at a rate of around 600 rounds a minute without overheating. The cyclical rate is 650 RPM. So, that's actually a lot faster than... It's not a faster cyclical rate of fire than a lot of other LMGs, but it's much faster than most LMGs can be fired without overheating. For example, the M249 we looked at last time can only be fired at around 80 to 90 rounds a minute, or it overheats and you need to swap the barrel. The Pecheneg is a lot less mobile than many other squad-level LMGs, such as the M249, RPK, etc., etc. But this sort of high rate of fire that can actually sustain without overheating means it brings a lot more firepower to the table than some of those more mobile weapons, and it is still light enough to be comfortably deployed by infantry, but you're really going to want to get your bipod set up before you let her rip with this one. It's not going to be particularly comfortable or easy to fire from the shoulder. The Pecheneg fires one of the largest rounds present in the game, a 7.62 by 54 millimeter round, which is even heavier than the G3's 7.62 by 51 millimeter. So as a result, this gun has really good range and penetration, and basically the idea behind this gun is just to provide a lot of firepower for an infantry unit. And that is what it does. You can see here me using it without attachments. I don't really like the iron sights on this gun, but aside from that, it's pretty solid with no attachments except the bipod. You see me using it to decent effect here. In the game, this is one of my less favored light machine guns, probably because it has very, very high recoil. It becomes quite difficult to control. You can see here me here hip firing people, but that's, I'm very, very close. The recoil and bullet spread isn't going to hurt me. I mean, the bullet spread's not bad. The bullets go quite straight, but the recoil is pretty damn heavy from this gun, which makes it hard to actually sustain fire. You really need to be careful to control it to, burst and move your mouse down to compensate for the recoil. But if you can get the hang of keeping a handle on this gun, it is the most damaging fully automatic weapon in the game. A single shot from this does 34 damage, which means in normal mode this is a 3-shot kill at close range, or a hardcore 2-shot kill at close range. Obviously, at distance, you're going to drop that down. Anyway, you can see here me using a typical setup with this gun. I've basically just still got the bipod. I've slapped on a holographic sight and extended box magazine. You want extended mags on this. It's... you don't want to have to reload in the heat of battle, and it does take a little while. And I think it's a bit quicker than the M249 to reload, but it's still not super fast. And obviously the holo sight. I don't really like long-range optics on this gun because of that heavy recoil, which really shows up a lot more the more zoom you've got on your optics, so I tend to prefer a short-range optic. This is a really good setup for this gun, as you'd expect. As I was, speaking about, this is not a terribly mobile weapon. Basically, the most effective way to use the PKP is often, and I do show a more mobile setup in a second here, but generally speaking, one of the best ways to use the PKP is essentially as, a stationary defensive light medium machine gun platform. So, you can see here, we're playing Conquest Assault on Wake Island, and I'm actually just chilling the fuck out right outside Echo. I'm not trying to push up, I'm not trying to attack. I'm just getting in a position where I've got a good line of sight on a main attack path of the enemy, and I'm just relaxing, chilling out with my gun deployed, and this is actually where this gun sort of really starts to shine, when you can sort of get in a good position, maybe where you're not going to be too obvious, and chill out and put fire on guys. And if you are careful and only fire short bursts, you can get people from a pretty good range with this. You're going to see in a minute that I pretty much sniped somebody, not here, having a little bit of a hard time killing that guy. He was in a boat and moving and stuff, but I do get him in the end. And I saw earlier a boat going the other way, so, swinging over here to pick up this asshole also. But, yeah, it's a really effective gun. in a defensive role where you don't have to move around a lot, and you can just kind of hang out somewhere with your bipod down and take care of the enemy coming in. Works great for that. But overall, you know, as I said, I don't really prefer this light machine gun. I feel like the other light machine guns are just a bit more versatile, a bit more useful in sort of more situations. And if you want, you know, heavy firepower like this, you're better off, I think, with the M240B or the M60, which we'll be getting to in the next couple of videos, because those weapons a tad easier to control. The M60 still has a fair bit of recoil, but still a bit easier to control than the PKP, I find, probably due to its low rate of fire. They pack a little bit less of a punch. They only do 30 damage a shot each, but still a pretty damn solid hit. So, you know, this is a good gun if you can control it properly. Because of that high damage, you can take people out very quickly. But it's a pretty tough one to use, and I feel like other weapons are more useful in more situations. That's sort of my thoughts on this gun in a general sense. But you are going to see in a minute a loadout that I sort of make work for me at being a bit more aggressive, because I was attacking an aggressive loadout. This guy, he thinks he can escape by driving around and getting in his own machine gun, but what he doesn't count on is that PKP dude. Actually works out pretty well for me. I was pretty happy about that. But not the instance I was talking about where I basically sniped a dude that is still coming. You know, I'm not really a fan of Wake Island in this game. It worked great in 1942, but I feel like it's a really, really rough map in BF3. It's just... There's all these areas where there's not much cover, and everybody's got these, you know, more advanced weapons. You got the sniper rifles and the machine guns and all this, and it's just kind of nasty. I mean, I die a lot on this map for the most part. It's better when you're defending, and you can just kind of find a good spot to hole up, but this is a rough map to be attacking on. I think up here is... I don't know. That bit where I sniped the dude in the boat must have been earlier, and I just failed to actually comment on it at the appropriate time. Whatever! Apparently I wasn't actually paying any attention whatsoever to the gameplay footage I'm commenting on. That guy chose a bad place to get out of the helicopter. Anyway, coming up here is the other loadout I want to show you guys. Same sight, but foregrip instead of the bipod and a suppressor. Now, this works pretty good. The suppressor brings your recoil down. The foregrip, you know, also horizontal recoil reduced. And you can make this one work up close. You're going to see me here. Basically, the combination of the foregrip and the suppressor makes this a lot more easy to control when you're mobile than it is when you have a bipod on there. Still got the close range scope. Still, you know, you don't really want to go for a long range sight, or you're going to have a hard time with the recoil. But you can definitely make pretty good use of this up close with this loadout, and you're going to see me doing that here. I pick off quite a lot of bad dudes in a situation where you'd normally be really, really uncomfortable with PKP if you had the default loadout. Or, you know, I would be anyway. I do see, you see a fair few people using this gun. It's not quite as popular as the M249 and such, but it seems like one of the more popular support weapons. I'm guessing it's because it does have that killing power to, you know, it really puts people on the ground. And that's, you know, that's a pretty desirable trait. Shotting dudes. My teammates here not shotting dudes very effectively, but it's okay, guys, I'm here to help. So while I've got a second here, I'm just going to mention, sorry about this video taking a while to come up, and just videos in general. Not been that many these past few days. We've got a guest in my house in real life, and so it's been a little bit distracting from my work the past couple of days. That's okay, though. It's not a big deal. And things will be getting back to normal pretty soon. I guess the next weapon is going to be... What do we have left to go in the support kit? We've got the M240B, the M60... the two DLC guns, which are the QBB and the MG36. Was there a co-op unlock for the support kit? I don't think there was. I think that's it. I think there's four more. There's 4 more support guns that'll be coming up soon, and then we'll be closing in on, well, I guess we'd be sort of half done the series, because I've still got to do Recon, and then after Recon, all kit guns, of which there are quite a few, and I mean, I've still got to do pistols and knife, repair tools, C4, grenades. That stuff is going to be difficult. I'm not sure. Those videos might take a little while to come out after I finish the actual, you know, primary weapons, because it's going to be a lot harder to get good games for those and stuff of that nature, because they're just not generally things you want to be running around with as your primary weapon. you know, secondary weapons and gadgets and stuff. Generally not the best primary weapons in the world. Strange, I know, right? But that is in fact the case. Anyway, I think we did manage to clean up this game pretty well and win this here on Operation Firestorm. All thanks to me, of course, and my PKP rushing strategy. Yeah, I'm gonna take all the credit for that one. It's always important, you know, even if you're not the best player in the world or the best player on your team, just if your team wins, make sure you take all the credit for that, especially if you're like a recon player and even though you were attacking, you camped at the back of your spawn for like the entire game and went 0-12. It's still, you know, you provide valuable cover fire for your team even though you didn't actually kill any enemies, and it's, you know, it's all down to you that your team won. And if your team loses, just remember, you know, you were trying to carry the team and just all those scrubs were holding you back. Always important to, you know, it's pretty much the key to online first-person shooter strategy. See here, killing them in their spawn, because that's how I roll. You know, it's just what you gotta do sometimes, guys. I'm not proud of it, but sometimes it's what you gotta do. Anyway, thanks for watching. That's the end of this video. And until next time, Troubletcat out. Do let me know what you thought of the video. Next up, M240B.